Welcome to the Purple Rock Podcast. I know you guys have missed us during this break, but as promised, we are providing you some off-season content. We're going to do a special episode for you today. We'll give you another one for a season preview shortly. But today we have a special theme. Andy, why don't you go ahead and introduce what we're doing today?
Yeah, so as soon as they announced that the upcoming season was Brains versus Brawn versus Beauty, we even said it in the season finale podcast. This would be a lot of fun to fan cast with former survivors. Like, we're glad that it's new people. And in fact, getting to know some of the new cast, we're really glad about some of the new ones. But I want to pick who the Brains and the Beauties and the Brawns of former survivors that I actually know are. Now, I realize that Rob has a podcast already beat us to the punch, but, it's not like I just read one NBA writer give their all-star team picks. Like, I think this is kind of standard issue stuff. I think we can do this without being accused of, copying, which we totally, I guess we are.
Yeah, we're fine with being accused of copying because sort of we are. We had the idea, we were just too lazy to execute it, which was the problem.
Yes, that should be the new motto of our podcast. But, yeah, I think this is what the Survivor fans are talking about, and that's what this show is. So we found a different way to do it. We're not going to sit here and debate all day about trying to form the perfect cast and then, come up with an incredibly substandard one. We're having a little game. We're each going to pick one person from each grouping, one male, one female, and that will put together 18. Well, wait, but the math isn't right with just the two of us.
What are you saying? Are you saying we should invite someone else?
I think we should. She will always be the Miss Survivor of this podcast. We're bringing back for the third time little Miss... what's her name again?
Good old what's-her-face.
Little Emma Adderall. Thank you. So welcome back, and thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. It's good to be back. Good to be the only American who's attracted to men.
Hey,
yes.
Slow your roll there, Emma.
It's pretty much the only reason I'm here, let's be honest.
It's going to be super awesome fun listening to me and John debate the merits of the former male beauties of Survivor, but we figured, why not bring a little bit of a different perspective?
I'm actually really excited to hear you guys debate the merits of the beauty males. That's half the reason I gave up my Friday night for this.
So what we're going to do is each of us will pick one and one only person for each of those groupings, men and women. We're going to switch it up so that, the same person isn't picking first every time. And to make it a little more interesting, we each have challenge flags in our theoretical pockets. So if somebody picks somebody that we just think is just a terrible, terrible idea, we can challenge that. And then it will be up to the other person to decide whether or not the challenge will be upheld. If your challenge is upheld, you get one bonus challenge. Other than that, there's not really a lot of rules to this. We can pick anybody from any season as long as they're alive. I forgot to tell you guys, again, no picking B.B. Anderson or Jen Lyons. But, man, we sure have fun with Survivor Deaths.
Yes. We get a lot of mileage from Survivor Deaths.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and hopefully we'll just make kind of the best cast. And when we're done, hopefully you guys can tell us how we did. You can leave us emails and voicemails. Just don't try to leave us a voicemail with your 18, because we won't listen that much. What do you guys think? Are you guys ready for this?
Let's do this. I think you should lead off, Andy, since this was your idea.
All right, so the subtitle of this upcoming season is Brawns versus Brains versus Beauty. So that's the order we're going to go in. And just to clarify, we realize the upcoming season is not going to have All-Stars. This is the hypothetical. All right? So let's start with the brawny men, Jeff Probst's favorite category. I have the first pick in this category, and my choice was actually somebody that I'm not actually particularly excited to come back. I kind of feel like it's been a bit of diminishing returns, but if you're doing a season of All-Star Survivors, and
I
there's
already
a
know what this is.
Yeah, if there's a tribe called Brawn, and you don't cast James Clement, then you might as well not do it.
Oh, actually, I thought you were going in a different direction. Okay, that's not far off from what I thought, but okay.
Yeah, there's really two that fit that category, but I think James, of those two options, is probably the better choice.
Yeah, but it's like, if you think brawny survivor, like, he's the picture next to the dictionary definition, right?
Yep, I can't argue with that one. No challenges here.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I get your reservations because of the whole diminishing returns, but, plus we get to hear him talk more, and that's always
Yeah,
fun.
I mean, I like the dude a lot in China. He was, not just a specimen. He was kind of fun. He was kind of happy. The next season, the first half of that group was all kind of douchey with Ozzy and Amanda and Parvati. But he was all right until he got medically evac'd. It was in Heroes vs. Villains where I was just like, oh, James, you're a jerk.
The banana etiquette was pretty funny, though.
Yeah, that was. So hopefully...
and Amanda's dramatic run back to James.
But yeah, I didn't really like how he treated Stephanie and a few other things. But I'm willing. There's been some time. Maybe the way that things didn't go well for him there was humbling enough that he might be good this time around. But if not, I'm sure he's still muscular.
He is probably that, yes.
All right, so next up, it's Emma's choice.
Okay, I'm going to preface this by saying that Brawn was the category I cared the least about, and I have the shortest list on, because those aren't really the players that I generally am, not attracted to in the sense of, but, they're not the players I tend to root for as much, because that's not the part of the game I care about as much. So I had a hard time coming up with people for this who weren't like people we've seen all the time, like your Jameses or Colbys or Rupert or whatever. And so I'm just going to throw this out and say Terry Deeps, because he's he did really well in Panama. He won a lot of challenges, and he's older, so you get one older dude.
First of all, no challenge on my front. Andy, what are you challenging that?
Terry was actually who I wrote as my second, and the weird chance that you guys challenged James.
Oh, and that would have never happened. But no. I will say, he's not going to be the only old man, because my pick is actually, and it came down to two that would have actually fallen into the old man category. But I'm going to go with Big Tom from Survivor Africa.
Aww.
Pure brawn, no beauty in that one. I stuck with the just brawn that wouldn't fall into the beauty category. I actually had Tom Westman as my alternate, although Tom Westman's a handsome dude, so it would have been,
He is. He's kind of a silver fox.
He is. He's a sexy older man.
I'll admit that, and it is not often that I will, I'm pretty age appropriate with my crushes, so.
Oh, yeah.
Not often one I come to.
But yeah, no problem with Big Tom. I think that was actually kind of one of the challenges. It's what is a attractive male survivor that isn't brawny? So yeah, you definitely found that.
I picked one.
I win.
I mean, James is an attractive dude too, but clearly he's brawn.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually also considered Judd from Guatemala just because it would be hilarious to pick Judd.
Oh, I kind of considered that too, actually.
But no, I passed on Judd. We're going with Big Tom because I need more Big Tom in my life.
All right, so James, Terry, and Big Tom. That's pretty solid.
Well, now we need some female brawn to balance us out, though.
Yeah, and I gotta say this category was a little more challenging, so I'm kind of interested in what you guys have to say. So Emma, why don't you lead us off there?
Okay, well, again, you're right. It was totally difficult, and I'm not usually into these players and stuff. So I went with a classic, went with an old school player, and picked Kelly Wigglesworth because I know she's not super brawny, I don't know, but she did pretty well in the physical challenges, and I feel that was more what her game was, because back in Borneo, you kind of either were playing it, like Richard, or you're playing it to play the game type thing, and she was less into the alliances. So I also wanted to pick brawny people who not just, weren't attractive, but also weren't super strategic. Yeah,
actually, Kelly is tied with the record for most immunity wins in a single season, so I think she definitely qualifies. In fact, I had her on my list, so I'm glad you picked her, because I was toying between her and my next choice, so no challenge for me.
And I actually had a fairly decent-sized list for this. I was sort of hoping that Emma was going to take one of my picks so that it would make it a little bit easier on me. But
I'm sorry.
Really, the first name that came to mind when I thought of female brawn was Alicia from Africa. So I now have two players from Survivor Africa.
Isn't Alicia from
Australia, you mean, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, Australia, yes.
Racist.
I don't know how that applies here, but sure.
Because she's black.
And that's getting cut. Yeah, I think Alicia's kind of in the same long lines as James. If you're thinking of like a really fit female player, Alicia's the kind of the standard bearer on that.
Yeah, no, I won't challenge that.
But I was like afraid, and this actually happened on the Rob Has a Podcast one. It was like, you know, the first names they kept listing for Brawn were all African American, and it was like, oh, it's getting uncomfortable. But I think we have a good mix right now. And again, I think you need, Alicia is the obvious choice, and I think it's a good choice.
Yeah, I mean, she just is. There's nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah.
She's definitely brawny.
Actually, getting back to Emma's pick, because again, I had Kelly on my list. Would Kelly be like a good contestant to come back for entertainment purposes?
I'm gonna go with yes, just because it's sort of the same Jervis premise. Like, it's been so long since we've seen you, let's see what you're like now.
Yeah, I think it could go either way.
Mm-hmm. And she came so close. Like, she was one vote away from basically changing the entire future direction of the show. Like,
from
at this
preventing
point,
this show ever lasting this long.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we lucked out there, but it's like, she's become almost a forgotten person in that first season. It's like, she almost won. If she just picks a little closer to Greg Buis' stupid number, then maybe Survivor's a little different.
All right, Andy, who was your pick?
There's a season that's had nobody come back that was a first time on that season. That's Guatemala. They brought Stephanie back a third time, but that was already her second time. And I just don't get why Guatemala has become this forgotten season. Like, it's not a phenomenal season, but it's solid middle of the pack, and it doesn't really deserve this fate. So I reached into that season. I went with Amy O'Hara.
Oh.
The police officer.
Darn.
I do not remember her, so I'm going to Google her real quick.
I had a backup from that season as well, but it was definitely not Amy.
Yeah, so
Was it Danny Bover?
It was Danny. Have you seen Danny? She is jacked.
Oh yeah, no, she's really fit.
I thought about that, but just the fact that I know she's not coming back unless it's all winners, it's just like, eh.
I have Danny on my short list for a different category.
Right.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Danny could probably qualify in a different category as well, so that was the reason I didn't vote for her.
So Amy, she was like a New York cop. She was a little beefier, and she was the one like, that Gary Hawkins is really a football player, Gary Hogavoom. I'm going to find out, and I'm going to hunt you down.
You have a thing for imitations.
That's right. You thought I was just Rupert, but no, I can see somehow bust out an Amy O'Hara one.
You certainly have a gift.
So yeah, I think she showed some personality. She was pretty good that season. Ultimately, she didn't matter because they came into the merge down numbers. And I think she was injured, so actually I think they voted her out right before the merge.
Can I just say that I'm a little disappointed? Emma, I thought you were actually going to take Denise from the Philippines.
I almost did. She was on my list.
Yeah. See, that's what I was going to feel
did.
much better if you had taken her first, and I wouldn't feel bad about having not picked her, but...
Yeah, my thing, like, she was definitely on my short list, but I tried to avoid Venn diagram people, and so that was the main thing, and then also, like, I wasn't sure if Brawn, like... it's not like she's bulky. I mean, she's wiry and she's strong as all get out. But, yeah, mostly it was the Venn diagram issue, is that she could definitely be on brains, too.
Yeah, she's smarter than she is strong.
Right.
So we're okay with Amy, even though you guys can't really remember her?
I Googled her, and looking at her, sure. That's fine with me.
Okay, so let's move on to the brains category next, because... I'm supposed to lead this off based on Andy's predetermined list of what order we're picking in. And I'm kind of disappointed that I'm leading this off because I feel like I could go third here, and neither of you guys are going to take my pick. I chose Jason from Samoa because he is a Stanford undergrad. He went to Chicago Law School. And he was also in the Russell Hantz season, so you didn't get to see a ton of Jason, even though he lasted until, I think, about 5th overall.
4th, I believe. Oh, no, Brett was 4th.
Pretty sure it was 4th.
No, I think Brett was 4th.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think he was 5th. So, lasted deep into the season, but didn't get a ton of face time because no one not named Russell got a ton of face time that season. And interesting enough guy, I'd be fine with him coming back.
Okay, so this is really weird. While we were waiting for you to make the show, Emma and I were chatting, and we literally talked about Jason.
Really?
Like, for a while.
Like, we are the only 3 people in the world that were spontaneously talking about Jason in the year 2014.
I thought that was such a deep pull. I was like,
No,
well,
like,
I'm
he's
safe.
definitely, even before Andy and I talked about him, he was on my short list.
So obviously there's no challenges here.
Oh, well, I was going to say, yeah, Andy was asking for my feminine opinion of whether he was, if he would qualify as a beauty. And we decided that, yes, he is definitely attractive, but probably fits more on the brains for the aforementioned qualifications you gave him.
It was a tough one here because brains is a tough category since it's not explicit whether it means, brains as they relate to Survivor or brains as in like an academic resume.
Right.
And I went for academic resume. Same thing that I did with Brawn. It wasn't more about challenges necessarily. It was just about, are you a brawny figure? Mm-hmm. And also someone that I'd like to see back.
Yeah, I was saying that I was cheering for Jason that season, and apparently he wasn't all that well liked. Like, it sounds like he might have been one of the few combinations that Russell could have actually beaten, but it's like, hey, he was really well spoken. I enjoyed listening to his, whatever they call those.
Confessionals.
Yeah, there we go.
Confessionals.
It's like I'm the one that was drinking tonight. I enjoyed listening to his confessionals, especially because
Spoiler alert, John is drunk.
it was a nice, refreshing change from, Russell the troll. And it was also nice that he, just completely destroyed every stereotype that Survivor had been spending years crafting.
I did like how even he was amused that someone picked him as the best swimmer. Like, he was glad that, they didn't assume that...
Yeah. Take that, stereotypes.
He was self-aware of it, which was always funny. Like, wow, yeah, okay. And then he was actually a good swimmer.
Yeah, and early in the season, he stood up to that really dumb guy that, got kicked out of the challenge or whatever. And he just put his foot down, no, you're voting out him tonight or I'm gone. And that was great to see. I always kind of want to see more of that. This guy that's just messing it up and is terrible to be around, could we not have him, please?
That was the one who called the other chick ghetto or something, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, man, now I want to see Jason face off against Colton. Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Oh, you just spoiled our pick for male beauty.
Gross.
Okay, speaking of spoiling picks, can I just say I would bet fairly decent money that I know what your next 2 picks are going to be. But, Andy, you are supposed to be next on this, so who would your male brains be?
So similar to how James is kind of the poster boy for Survivor Brawn, I kind of feel like this guy is one of the poster boys for Survivor Brains, and I went with Yowman.
Oh.
That means I get my pick, yay.
Curveball.
Yeah, I mean, Yowman was awesome in Fiji. And, he didn't really get to do much in All-Stars because, Suri felt rightly threatened by him.
Fans versus favorites.
Yeah, fans versus favorites, right. And he's super smart. And he was able to apply that intelligence to the game itself. And not so much in strategy, where he was, decent. He was pretty good. But more he was always figuring out the best way to do a challenge. And he ended up winning a few. He was figuring out the best way to, solve a problem at camp, like starting the fire with his glasses. So... And I kind of just think about brains in a way that you can kind of fill up a brainy tribe. Certainly you can get somebody that is also athletic, that is smart, like John did. But, also he could brain his way through a challenge, if that's a thing that people say.
The word
so,
brain.
Sure, let's say brain's a verb now.
Who's drunk again, Andy?
I'm trying to stick to the gimmick. So, yeah, that's who I went with, Yowman. I want to see the guy again.
Fair enough.
Right, yeah, I can. No challenges here.
Emma, let's complete this category.
Alright, I'm sure you'll all see this coming, but I gotta throw some love to Stephen Fishbat.
Yeah, there was 2 that I suspected from you there, and that was one of the 2.
If you're thinking of who I think you're thinking of, that'll probably be addressed later, but we'll see.
It better not be, because that'll be a challenge.
No, it'll come. You'll figure it out. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, Steven deserves it because he is very smart, and he should come back anyway. Because I think it'd be interesting to see him play without JT. We all, of course, love that moment, that one challenge where they had to remember the symbols, and Jeff is all like, oh, he's so far, like, oh, he's been out there forever, what is he doing? And then he comes back and just owns it, and they're like, how'd you do that? He's like, well, you know, if you assign each symbol a number, and I know the brain can remember 10 numbers in a row, so I just, and everyone's like, what the family podcast?
That's why we have the beat button, don't worry about it.
Yeah, if you're going to do a season, like, if you're going to bring back Stephen Fishbach, it's for this gimmick. Like, I'm not sure he would crack a list otherwise, although, I mean, I guess Cochran did. But Cochran was a little more dynamic than him. But yeah, it would be tough for him to be one of 6 male All-Stars, or, like, heroes or something. But yeah, Brains, that's Fishbach. In fact, if John had picked Yao Man, I was still juggling in my head. Do I go with Stephen Fishbach, or do I go with Rob Sesternino? You know, this could be an opportunity to bring him back, you know?
Yeah, he was also definitely on my list. So yeah, if my choices had been taken. Although the brain section was probably the one where I had the longest list.
That was not my longest list.
Yeah, you perv. But, you know, similarly to how I said, like, how I didn't care about Brawn, because those aren't the players I really root for, like, the strategic, brainy characters are the ones I get attached to, so that's where I had a longer list.
Yeah, I mean, this is the category where we live. Like, this is what we do when we debate on the show, on, you know, comment boards, that sort of thing. It's kind of interesting for the future season, and we'll get more of this in our preview. I'm not sure the Brains tribe is going to be all that strong.
Yeah, we'll get to it once we cover that in a preview podcast. But yeah, I have some reservations about them.
But looking at our theoretical one, Jason, Yao-Man, Fishbach so far, I could roll with that tribe so far.
Okay, well, let's get some women on it, Andy. You're up.
All right, so we've been relatively, you know, agreeable so far, almost like to the point where maybe I shouldn't have invented this little challenge rule. So let's get that over with and get your challenge flag ready, John. Let's just throw Sierra in there.
How dare you? Are you serious?
No, I'm not really serious, but, you know, like I said, I was going to just do that to make you waste your challenges, but...
I think Emma would have upheld my challenge and I would have gotten another one, so...
Yeah, except that while we were waiting for you to stop partying, Andy and I were planning on trolling.
Well, I almost feel like it's my gimmick. Like, I had to throw Sierra in somewhere, and clearly she doesn't fit the other two categories. And we all did agree that, like, she's going to be back. So it's like, you know, if this was an all-star season and they wanted her, this is where they'd slot her. But I can't really justify Sierra, you know, the cosmetology student in the Brains tribe. So I'm not serious. You can save your challenge, although at this point I don't think you'll need to use it.
Oh, I will.
Instead, I'm going with Suri. Suri is, in my mind, the best player to never have won this game. And at this, like, after what happened in Heroes vs. Villains, I was kind of thinking that she'd never really get another chance. Like, it would be tough to imagine a scenario where people don't realize what a threat she presents and take her out early. But I kind of think this is the scenario. If she's in a tribe with, you know, other strategic players, she doesn't have to sneak up on anybody anymore, and they could view her as an asset. So it's like, if you're going to get Suri back one more time, and, you know, they should. She's, you know, first ballot Hall of Famer, I believe. This is the format, I think.
She was on my short list, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, she made mine too. She wasn't number one, but I have no objections to it, that's for sure.
Yeah, she wasn't my number one either, but mostly because I was pretty sure you guys, like, one of you would pick her, and I didn't think any of you guys would pick my number one.
Yeah, the only thing that was like, I had it all set up, so like, I think Suri could succeed here, and then I also said, and yeah, I'd like to see Yao-Man have another crack at it, and, you know, hey, they get to fight one more time.
Oh, yeah.
It's an interesting tribe dynamic we've already developed here.
And I'm sure they're over it. Alright, Emma, who you got?
Okay. Well, mine is a little bit of an under the radar pick, and it was sort of a very specific circumstance thing. And so I'm glad that the Brains picks went the way it did, because I want to go with Becky Lee from Cook Islands, and I only wanted her if we didn't have Yule, because I want to see her play without him, and like sort of to show. Because I think she got kind of the short shrift that season. Like, yeah, obviously she was definitely working Obviously, Yule was maybe, higher up there, but it helped that he had that idol. But I think she deserves a little more credit than what she got. Like, I think they definitely were more of a partnership than what we were shown. And so I think it could be really interesting to watch her play the game again without that shadow.
Right. Also, you heard brains and you thought Asian because you're racist.
No.
It's actually the reason why she wasn't on my list, because I already had an Asian. And I was like, oh god, I can't just do Asians. I already picked a black guy for Brawn.
She was the only Asian one on my list for brains. So.
She was not the only Asian on my list, but I feel like now that we've got 2 Asians on this tribe, I have to racially balance us some. And I'm going to move to my second choice. I'm going to pass over Xi'an, who I had at number 1, and I'm going to...
Oh, wow, I didn't even think of her.
I'm actually going to take, and this will be quite a quick turnaround, Candace from Cook Islands, and most recently of Blood versus Water. Because, again, I was basing this more on an academic resume thing, and Candace, as a UNC graduate, a doctor, I looked at her bio. Apparently she had a perfect score on the SAT for math at least, or something like that. So definitely fits the brains profile. The reason I didn't have her number 1 is because I'm not sure that I'd be super psyched to have her back. But she definitely did get a raw deal in Blood versus Water. So if she was going to be an interesting player, I don't think we really got to see it this past season. So why not keep bringing Candace back as though she's the female Rupert?
So do you want to take this one, Emma, or should I?
How dare you?
Challenge! I challenge! We're not bringing back Candace. No more Candace. Candace is not a four-time player of this game.
Yeah, it's like, I can't argue with the fact that she's brainy, but I can't argue with the fact that I don't need to see her again. Although, actually, now that I think about it, the idea of her and Becky being on the same tribe is kind of intriguing because of the history with the mutiny and everything. Also, I would want to state for the record that Becky is an attorney, so she is actually brainy.
There was no dispute there.
I know, but just because you said Candace's resume, so I hadn't talked about it, so I just wanted to throw that out there.
All right, so this is an official challenge. It's up to you, Emma. You got to break the tie. Is Candace on our tribe, or are we forcing John to pick another brain?
Let's make him pick another.
I was going to say, if you force me to, I have a longer list here anyway, so that's fine.
Yeah, I figured you had more people, and I kind of want to know who they are, so.
All right.
I'll challenge accepted, or, granted, sustained?
Sure.
Upheld? Something like that. Sustained. In honor of your lawyer pick, I imagine sustained would work.
That would work.
Okay.
All right, well, now that Candace is out of the mix, I'm down to a doctor or a lawyer. Again, I'm going to pass on Xi'an because I'm still sticking with I'm going to racially balance this tribe, so I've got to get a white girl in here. And I'm going to go with Sophie from South Pacific.
And was Eliza your other pick?
She was.
Yeah, so
they are all on my list.
those are the next 2 names on my list. So
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Sophie over Eliza. And our only returning winner so far. So, excellent. Yeah, I have no complaints. And she's actually the only winner that was on my list at all. Just because while this fan casting is fun, and it would be fun if this was an actual season, my entire priority as a fan is that one day they'll do a Tournament of Champions. So I kind of want to save a few former winners, even in my hypothetical ways. But I think Sophie's one that could use to come back before such a season, kind of like Aris last season. Like, people don't give her enough credit.
I fully agree with that entire rationale.
Also, I'm going to totally ruin that in one of these next 2 categories, not to spoil anything.
So there we go. Jason, Yowman, Stephen Fishbach, Sari, Becky, and Sophie. Yeah. I think these nerds could win some.
I kind of dig that tribe.
It's not a bad tribe.
It would easily be our favorite tribe.
Wow, it is kind of weird, actually, that you were talking about the racially balanced thing, and it's actually... of those 3 races, because apparently no love for the Hispanic players, although there haven't really been that many except for, the designated Cook Islands one.
Sandra was on my short list, but I couldn't rank her. Because, again, I took it more as an academic thing, so she didn't have the academic resume to compete.
As Rob C. and Gordon put it on Rob Has a Podcast, she doesn't really need any more shine. if we did the inevitable all winners season.
This is true.
Like, she's won twice. We know she's good, so.
Yeah, or if they ever want to do a one returnee on each tribe, mono type situation, if they ever want to do like a female one, she would be near the top of the list. Like it could be Sandra versus Parvati or Kim versus Parvati or something like that.
By the way, they should, just because on seasons where they've brought like someone back but not a whole tribe's worth, if they've only brought like 2 or 3 people back, Stephanie is the only woman that they've brought back for those. It's always been men other than that.
Which is incredibly shocking for how fair and balanced this show tends to be.
Indeed.
All right. Well, before you fall asleep, John, we should probably get this category out because I know you've probably given the most thought to it.
Well, the important thing is that I've been drinking a lot, Andy, so I'm very primed for the beauty category.
That's right. So we started with men, the other two, and I know everybody wants us to finish on the high note of John and Andy arguing beautiful men. So let's start with the beautiful ladies, and you have the first pick.
Oh, I'm disappointed. I was all set to talk beautiful guys to finish on the ladies, but
oh,
and the beauty.
Oh no! God. We're leaving that.
Was that on purpose or not?
Phrasing.
Okay. Whew, collect yourselves, people. All right, since I get a first pick of the beautiful females here, you guys are going to be shocked, but I had a very long list here. I know. Hold your gasps. And I'm actually kind of expecting that I might get a challenge on this one, but I'm going to throw it out and see what happens. I pick Courtney from One World, the first one booted.
Aw.
She had tattoos, and she was a mechanic, and she was adorable.
For a brief second, you gave me this weird hope that you would pick,
No, I did not pick Courtney Yates. No, yeah. I did not.
Which, I know she's like, not really, but she's also my queen, so I would have been excited.
I would be afraid that Courtney would break if she sneezed. So that Courtney is not coming back. This is Courtney from One World, who again was the first boot because she actually broke her wrist or arm or something, I believe.
Yeah, she broke her wrist on that weird like net challenge thing.
So I'm all for giving her another chance to come back, and I like some diversity in my beauty tribe. I'm guessing you guys are going to go for a little more traditional beauty for your picks. So I went with a little non-traditional, and I went with the tattooed mechanic.
Yeah, she's attractive, but yeah, I'm going to challenge that. It's just mostly to do you a favor. You have a long list, and I made you lead off this category, so it'll give you a chance, as long as this challenge is upheld, to, show more, let your freak flag fly.
You can always talk about your alternates later.
I just don't know if, the word beauty, and then you throw Courtney there, that really does what you're trying to achieve with a beauty tribe. Kind of along the lines of perhaps the dudes in this year's beauty tribe.
Which, yeah, by the way, as the one who's attracted to men, damn, that was disappointing.
I am not as disappointed in the female beauty tribe this season.
No. I don't know how it would work with the space-time continuum, but can I cast one of them on this hypothetical thing?
I seriously debated casting one of them in this season, and I did not do it.
All right, so Emma, what do we think? Are we keeping Courtney in the show, or are we letting John talk more about beautiful ladies?
I don't know, because honestly, I kind of like the idea of throwing a bone to the more alternative chick, but
phrasing.
Hey, that is not nearly as bad as what he said. I don't know. Well, okay, John, do you really want her on, or do you want to be?
Do I really want her? Phrasing again, Emma. You are.
That was nothing. You're just drunk.
This is true. I do have a long enough list that if the challenge did get upheld, also that would get rid of Andy's challenges, so he could not challenge my male beauty pick.
Ooh. Actually, that's interesting.
So up to you.
Or your next pick in this one. We'll just let Emma do it and just be this perpetual thing until we get to your 6th or 7th choice.
I was not anticipating this kind of pressure.
You should have known that when we brought in a third that you'd play cop between the bickering John and Andy. You know that the next person on John's list is Tyson, right?
Well, then I'll challenge it.
Courtney, you'll be missed.
You feel sad for poor Courtney is the thing. And also,
Yeah.
come on, we're not bringing back First Boots
Yeah,
again.
you know what? Actually, she can come back if they do a girl version of like the Medevac season. That's a good opportunity because she really did that was.
She got a total raw deal.
Yeah, I was trying to not swear, but yeah, that sucked. It was the first challenge, and it was through no real fault of her own. She landed weird. What can you do?
All right, so if I have to pick an alternate,
If you want to stick with the One World cast, I have no objections to that.
You know what? And so this is the problem: is I have two other choices from One World on my list.
So, before you say anything, was the One World cast more attractive than, the Beauty Tribe in this upcoming season?
Yes.
The men, there were definitely at least three men on the One World Tribe that were more attractive than the current one.
Tell me about it. Leaf was a dreamboat.
Don't forget Tarzan.
Believe me, I haven't. This tattoo on my arm with the heart around it has proven that.
Oh, I'm gonna puke.
So okay, I guess I should not put Jonas on my list.
Oh, now I feel bad.
Yes, this is... I'm sure they all turned off the podcast by now.
Yeah, don't worry. Right. Trust me, Tarzan is not listening to podcasts. He didn't hear that. Okay, so I am a little torn here because kind of conscious of the having too many winners thing. So I hate to pass over who would be my next in line, but I can't bring her. We'll save her for a future all-winner season.
You're allowed to say her name.
My love for Kim is well documented, and I would definitely love to see her back on the show. But I'll pass her over for this slot then.
She's too good to be, cast as a beauty. She should be cast as greatest of all time type stuff.
Yeah. It's tough
she
not to.
She would be on the Venn diagram tribe.
She certainly would. So then I come down to one other winner, and then one who did not win. I have two Token Teens and a One World that would be next in line, along with Danny from Guatemala. But I'll pass over Danny again on the winner premise, and I will take Erin from Token Teens.
All right, yeah, she was on my short list.
She was on my list.
And she was also on mine. So Erin is now my
Now I have to pick someone else.
And Andy, guess what? You can't challenge that anyway, even if you didn't agree with that pick.
When I go through my qualifications, it'll make sense. But I definitely agree. An attractive lady, and she seemed kind of fun and smart too. So
yeah, I legitimately would like to see her back. So
she was sassy.
Yeah, no, I rewatched Token Teens recently, and yeah, she's definitely.
Well, plus I figure that me
awesome.
Taking Erin in that spot leaves it open for Emma to later take Courtney, her spirit animal or whatever she calls it, when it's her
I wasn't going to pick Courtney.
Well, it doesn't matter because you're not next anyway. So Andy, tell us who is next.
So my social crusading even extends to leering contests of beautiful ladies. So listening to the Rob Had as a podcast one, I thought one of the biggest things they did wrong was all their beautiful people had one racial component. Yeah, that was a little bit of a misstep, especially because they had options in their when they were considering. And then Survivor, CBS did this too. There are three ladies, which again, not really complaining, all white girls. So I decided to move away from that.
To be fair, one is Hispanic. She said on Twitter that she is Puerto Rican.
There you go. I guess CBS knew better than I. So now I'm so torn between these two. But there's a good chance the first one will get challenged anyway. I went with Christina Shaw from One World. I know there's some debate out there whether Probst basically thinks she's stupid. Yeah, there's all that talk, and we've talked about it on this podcast that, the Probst's comment that there was two people in a season that were so dumb that wrecked it. I always figured he was talking about Kat. And I know people, and then the thought is, well, they cast her again, so that must be. But, you know, we watched last season. You can't tell me that wasn't Kat, right? I mean, they brought Kat back so they could get Hayden Moss.
There is no debate that Leaf was one of the two he was talking about. The only debate is about the second.
Yeah. So, why I picked Christina Shaw? I think she was the hottest, like, day 33 or whatever contestant ever. Like, the late game hotness for her was almost surprising. Like, it snuck up on us, and all of a sudden I was just like, whoa.
So as I mentioned, I had some one-worlders on my list, and she was right behind Kim. So no objection here.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, like, again, if you wanted to toss her out because you think that she was kind of boring or
actually,
dumb.
You know what? I think she actually could be kind of interesting to bring back because I think, you know, she started off kind of decent, you know, like she brought, like, she did
the fire thing.
Fire. But then they all got, like, all up on her, you know, so she toned it down, and that's when she started being under the radar. So I think free of that, she could be interesting.
Yeah, and then the swap happens, and, like, they're just awful to her. Like, Alicia and He Who Shall Not Be Named. That's some of the worst behavior I've ever seen directed at a contestant. And then, kind of like, the attitude that she's, like, you know, this is a dumb player, was like people that seem to be repeating things that Alicia was saying in confessionals, and you'll forgive me if I just didn't think Alicia was being truthful in that moment. So, there we go. Christina Shaw.
Emma, give us the pick that you were most excited to make on this list.
Well, you took mine, so I was not prepared because I did not expect you to take mine.
Sorry about having to resort to contingencies there.
So I'll stall for a little bit in that I thought, like, you know, some that crossed my mind were like Parvati, but sort of like Kim, but on a not quite at her level.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like my pick for, like, James. Like, James is the token for Brawn. Yao-Man is an obvious for Brain. Yeah, Parvati, when you think of female beauties, even if she's not necessarily the hottest chick ever, nobody used beauty in the same way Parvati did. Not
to put ideas in your head, but there is one terrible final jury performer.
Oh, I know, but
and then there's also a fellow Token Teens cast member that would fit into this. I'm talking about Tyson, of course.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding. I did not mean Tyson.
Wait, who did you mean?
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of curious. It wasn't Sierra, right?
It was Sierra.
Sierra? I know she's a model, but I don't think she was that pretty. I don't know.
Again, this is kind of based on a resume.
Right, that she was a model. Oh, or are you talking about, I know they mentioned on Rob Had a Podcast, they talked about Sydney, but she's a very boring kind of pretty to me. Like, I know she's Sydney on Token Teens, if you're not familiar. She's also a model, but I feel like she definitely probably only does, like, commercial model, you know, like Sears catalog type stuff. And that she's definitely pretty. Like, she's very, like, all-American, like, blonde, blue-eyed, like, cute, ordinary.
Whereas Emma is into the hipster models. You were into the models before they went all commercial.
No, okay, look. I used to watch American Next Top Model on occasion, but, no, really, like, actual, like, high fashion models typically are a little more interesting looking, or, like, a little more, like, dramatic in their look, and she's just very, like, girl next door.
Alright, enough stalling, Emma. Get to the hotties.
Just pick Hope from Fans vs. Favorites, too. She was hot.
Boring. Is it too much of a cop-out to pick Colleen Haskell?
No, that'll work.
Because I know she would never come back, but before there was Parvati, there was Colleen as the quintessential, you know, pretty survivor.
Like, Colleen would be a huge get, and, you know, John fought me hard on the qualification that would these people actually ever come.
Phrasing, Andy.
So,
Jesus.
Because, yeah, Colleen's never coming back to the show.
Yeah.
But, yeah, absolutely, if they could get her, like, they would play up America's Sweetheart and all that. I mean, we're trusting that she still has her, you know, cuteness
That's
intact. True. Given that a lot of it was about, like, kind of girl next door, girly youngness. And, man, it's been a long time. But yeah. I'm not going to challenge. Well, I can challenge, but I wouldn't anyway.
And nor will I.
Okay. Also, actually, I'll state for the record, though, because I know you started to bring up Amanda, that I think she's kind of overrated in that everyone seems to think she's like the hottest of all the Survivor women. And like, she's pretty, I guess, but I don't know. She always looks like she's crying.
That's what I'm into.
I legitimately have a friend, like, has awkwardly tried to explain that there are women who kind of always look upset and that he finds it really attractive.
I can't think of a better awkward transition to you picking the first male beauty.
Wait, before we move on, I just want to say the other person I was thinking was Sundra from Cook Islands.
Oh, I like her.
Like, she wasn't billed as a hot chick throughout the show, but then, like, nobody, I think, has ever looked better at a reunion show compared to what they were. Like, I'm like, oh my god, she's stunning. And then she's done, like, acting. Like, I think she was on Sex and the City or whatever. Like,
now I want to pick her again, because then she and Becky could reunite at the merge, and that'd be fun.
But then the absolute funniest pick of all time for this category, or any of the categories, would be Julie Berry from Vanuatu.
If I was going to go with a black female, which I also debated, once again I would have gone with One World, and I would have taken Sabrina. One World, in retrospect, was a really hot season.
I know well, that's probably because it was men versus women. They like to highlight, I mean, if you look back at Amazon, too.
Yeah, Rob Sesternino is a stone cold fox.
Well, I was talking about the cliche of, like, Jenna and Heidi. But, although I think Heidi's a little weird looking, but that's another story.
Shots fired.
Her husband, on the other hand.
Yeah, and we didn't even mention Chelsea, who was probably the, like, standard issue hottest chick on that season, so yeah.
Shelder is gonna be upset.
Yeah, as a Southerner, I have to say that I see Chelsea types too often, so I wanted some variety.
And on a related note, when can we come visit you down south there? Yeah. All right, so male beauty, the category you've all been waiting for. Emma, let's lead it off.
Okay, maybe this will be kind of a weird pick to you guys, maybe not, I don't know. But I'm going to go with Brett from Samoa, or as I like to call him, Invisibret.
Him?
Yeah, I'm tempted to use a challenge here.
But he's so cute.
If you say so. I'm partly, and it's not even based on his appearance so much as I don't know if I care about seeing Brett again. I mean, I already pulled a Jason out of Samoa.
Yeah.
I don't know if I need to see Brett, so I am going to throw a challenge here.
All right.
Andy, you're going to uphold that for me?
I see what Emma's going for. It's kind of that divide that we were trying to think of, like what's an attractive male that isn't a brawny male. And Emma and Brett was a pretty boy. That was basically all he was, because he was like looking around like, oh, that guy's still on the show, and then all of a sudden like, oh, that guy could win.
He was beautiful scenery.
That's right.
I know.
So no, we're not bringing him back. They barely brought him on the first time.
Yeah, I can't
Take
say
that,
I'm
Emma.
shocked by that.
So yeah, that's right. So that's right. For those of you scoring at home, we two guys were like, you can't have your pretty guy.
That guy's not pretty enough for us.
Token chick we brought on for this category.
Oh, man.
I hope we haven't broken your heart now.
Well, Andy and I, as the standard bearers of male beauty, will not accept a Brett in our cast.
I said, he's pretty enough, but he's not worthy of return engagements with our show.
Sure.
See, I feel like you're gonna be less inclined to agree with my second pick, so I'm wondering if I should just go with the safe pick that I know you won't argue with.
I've only got one challenge left anyway, so at some point you'd get to your third pick, even if I did challenge it.
Well, I'm trying to decide if I really think he deserves to be on it now.
Do you need some alone time to think about it?
No. I'm gonna say Ian from Palau.
We might have needed to bring a different chick onto this episode.
Maybe not super conventional, but again, not super beefy either.
Let me go ahead and eliminate the maybe from that sentence. Not super conventional.
Do you think something quirky's up at this point? Maybe we should give her a call.
Hey, Something Quirky likes the same bands that I did in high school, so we probably have very similar taste.
Yeah, she would have nominated Jason from Micronesia.
Yeah.
I think I might actually let Ian stand. What do you think, Andy?
Not necessarily what they were thinking about for beauty, but then what do we know?
Look at who they did pick, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, is look who they cast
Fair
for
enough.
Beauty this season. I think for some diversity amongst the beauties, all right, we'll leave Ian in.
Well, the one thing is, I do want to see that dude again.
Yeah, that was the other thing is, unlike Brett, I actually would really like to see Ian again. And Brett, I only would like to see again.
I'll just say this right now. You're getting the same experience right now from Google image search of Brett than you would having him on the show. So we did you a favor there.
Yeah.
Just Photoshop him into various pictures of island scenery, kind of like CBS did with Samoa. All right, I'll let Ian stand, especially because I want to save a challenge just for when Andy picks, just because I would like to troll Andy some, since he used both of his challenges on me.
Just so you know, though, Emma, you've let our entire female audience down by not nominating Jay Byers. That's all.
Well, I assumed one of you would do it. He's definitely he was definitely the third one on the list.
Oh, you don't know me very well if you thought that Jay was going to be my pick. So,
well,
remember how I said...
I still have both my challenges left.
Ho ho! She'll just keep challenging us until we have to get to Jay. Good strategy. She's holding both idols.
You know I was saving these for the category I cared the most about, that I knew you guys would be the worst at.
But remember how I did say that I was going to pop out with a winner later on. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I do have a very strong preference for a recent winner of Survivor.
So John Cochran, right?
You know it.
I wouldn't challenge that one.
That's exactly that. That one would slip right through because Emma's not going to challenge
you
that.
Guys know you knew going into this that I have weird taste. You knew I had a giant crush on Cochran.
Okay, so
we stopped meeting women years ago. You were the best we could do.
Oh, I've heard that one before.
Phrasing.
Wow. Okay, so again, a lot of this I looked at as the resume, like how well do you fit into this category versus not the other categories. And to me, it was very clear that like one name definitely fit here, and that is Brian Heidick from Thailand, because he's a former softcore porn star.
Challenge.
How can you challenge a former softcore porn star for the Beauty Tribe?
Challenge.
Fair enough.
And explain your challenge.
Because I feel uncomfortable when I look at his face.
You know what's so unfortunate? Is that I'm not upholding your challenge.
Are you kidding? Come on. Wait, can I try to explain it more?
High five, Andy.
Is this punishment for my picks?
Come on, he's got the feathery hair and the bad boy appeal.
Feathery hair? Okay, you guys, I know you're old. But feathery hair is not, like, an appealing quality.
Be right back, guys. I gotta go change my hairstyle.
I almost feel weird not upholding your challenge, because here's the thing, I'm
looking at it now, I'm looking at his Google images, and I just feel so uncomfortable.
Well, wait, are you looking at his mugshot? Because that's not the most appealing light.
I'm looking at Survivor stuff, and, like, I feel the opposite of turned on.
Alright, I do feel weird deciding whether or not this, man is beautiful enough to be on this show.
Andy, tell me if Heidick is sexy enough.
I want him to be on the show again, so we actually have an interesting opportunity here. My wife just walked in, so I'm going to let her decide whether we let him on the show or not.
Andy, I really wanted to know if you thought Heidick was sexy enough to be on this season.
Of the Thailand cast, I'd have to say yes.
You know what? My other problem with him, my other sort of obscure problem with him, is that he kind of resembles Harry Hamlin, and I'm a big Veronica Mars fan, and while I won't spoil it, other Veronica Mars fans will know why I'm not going to find Harry Hamlin attractive.
Well, see, but here's where you're losing points. Wasn't Harry Hamlin, formerly World's Sexiest Man on People magazine?
Yeah, but in the 80s, and everything about the 80s was, terrible, including people who were children during it.
All right, so, Andy, get Kim's opinion.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm asking my wife right now.
Come on.
So John wants to cast Brian Heidick as part of the Beauty Tribe.
You have to get Brian Heidick's resume.
Former winner.
That's a big part of my argument
Thailand,
here.
Brian Heidick.
That's not the selling
John.
point.
Former softcore porn star Brian Heidick.
There you go.
Okay, to be fair, Ron Jeremy is in not softcore porn, and no one thinks he's attractive.
Speak for yourself, Emma.
I am.
All right. Kim, at best, could generate a casual shrug. Like, eh. And since, here's the problem. Are we really going to have a beauty tribe of, like, Ian Rosenberger, Brian Heidick, and then whoever I choose?
Fine.
So I will uphold it. Only, you know what? Because I want Brian Heidick for our all-winter season.
Good, I was about to make that argument, too. I was like, come on, Andy, I know you don't want to taint him with this season.
Let's not talk about Brian Heidick and taint.
And taint. I was going the same place.
I knew you guys were, and that's why I said. Also, Andy, if you were casting him on this season, is beauty really the tribe you would have chosen?
Another good argument. All right. Challenge upheld.
Woo!
Now we get to talk about more hot dudes.
All right. Well, this is exactly why I straggled my way home from a party to talk to you guys. All right. Well, I'm actually going to go a bit down my list then, because this tribe, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but again, we're flying. Oh, no, I was going to say we are all white people, but Andy did uphold some minority representation with Christina. So maybe I don't have to take my next in line pick.
Pick whoever you want to pick, John. As long as it's not Tyson.
Oh, really? Because apparently I cannot, since I just tried.
You've had 3 picks challenged, man.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't make so many poor life decisions.
Apparently I'm the worst at this. All right, so there's a very obvious pick here who I know is coming back at some point anyway. I don't think I put Malcolm in.
Yeah, he's a Venn diagram player.
Yeah, and he's honestly too obvious a pick anyway. So I'm going to dig a little bit deeper then, and I'm going to go with Marine Mike from the Boston Rob Coronation season, which was also known as Redemption Island.
Boring.
Indeed, but this is what happens when you get rid of Brian Heidick for me.
I mean, sure. I guess I'm not going to challenge that. He's generically attractive.
Yeah, Marine Mike is square-jawed, well-built, attractive dude. He's probably not sexy, I think, is the problem for Emma. And I just love that I said that into a microphone for people to hear.
I'm going to just loop that as the preview for this episode. All right, listen, Emma, rather than asking you if you're going to challenge this, I'll leave it up to you. You can pick one of these two. So I got down to Marine Mike, or you can take JT from Token Teens, or Michael from One World. Michael's really tall, so if tall is your thing, maybe you want Michael.
His eyebrows were really intimidating, though.
Hold on, I'm looking at him up. Oh, no. I'm gonna pick Marine Mike because I do like JT, and JT is actually an interesting example because he was when watching that season, that's totally not my the whole Southern thing is not really my type. And, like, he's cute and stuff, but I totally still ended up having a crush on him because he's so charming. But I'm not picking...
You and Stephen Fishbach.
Yeah, I'm not picking him precisely because of Stephen Fishbach. I don't want him to play another season with him. Like, I mean, maybe if they ever did some, like, epic pairs
buddy season
or something. Yeah, buddy, that's a much better way of putting it. That would be fun.
Survivor, bosom buddy.
But,
JT and drag would be a great season.
We're totally fan casting that in the next off season. Book it.
Yes, we are.
Can I be there? But yeah, like I would, if they were doing something like that specifically with pairs, then that's fine. But otherwise, I want to see Steven like spread his wings, similar to how I want to see Becky without Yule.
I'm so glad you said wings after spread his.
God, you're drunk.
All right, Andy. Bring us home. We have one last mail.
1, 2, or 3, depending on how the challenge system goes. I had one thought, but now I almost kind of looking at our picks. It's like I gotta sex this up a bit.
Yeah,
that's a drop.
I almost...
But I'm going to just say it because I know that Emrat Fink has just been shouting into his head this whole time.
Yeah.
Andrew Savage, Andrew Savage, Andrew Savage. But I'm not going to pick him now. Sorry, Rat Fink.
Can I almost want to retroactively change my pick now because I'm so disappointed in you guys.
So I'm just going to go with what we've been talking about. And like Jay Byers would be the most attractive man that we haven't talked about. And frankly, he might be prettier than all three women we picked as well.
He's so pretty.
So would Tyson, but you wouldn't let me take him either.
No, Tyson looks like one of the bicycle riders in the Triplets of Belleville.
Your youthful pop culture references escape me.
That is so not a youthful pop culture reference.
All right, so let's go through our. I'm not going to challenge Jay. He's a dead sexy man.
He was the third on my list, and because I assumed you guys would pick like the like obviously sexy guys, so I wanted sort of similarly to besides Brett was my pretty but boring pick, but then Ian was similar to John's Courtney pick he's not like alternative like her, but like the sort of quirky different.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Let's go through who we ended up with. So for our Brawn tribe, we have James, Clement, I guess is his last name, Terry Dietz, we have Big Tom, Kelly Wigglesworth, we have Alicia, and Amy from Guatemala. Not a bad tribe.
Yeah, I think when you get James, Terry, and Alicia, that's enough kind of star power that you can throw in like a wild card like Amy O'Hara or a classic player like Kelly.
Sure. I think it's a fairly well-balanced tribe, and you got a good mix of older seasons and newer seasons in there, too. Well, not really. It's mostly older. But anyway, so in our Brains tribe, we've got Jason, Yowman, Fishbach, Siri, Becky, and Sophie, which I think might be our most balanced tribe in a lot of ways.
I'm kind of in love with that tribe. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see it in real life.
Yeah, I mean, it's the one that everybody would be cheering for our side.
Yeah, this is the tribe that should just be called the AV Club comment section because it's basically who they'd be rooting for.
But yeah, you got kind of superstars in Suri and Yowman. And maybe I'm abusing superstar with Yowman, but I don't think so. He's been back twice.
No, he was. Remember his entrance though for fans versus favorites, like.
Oh, they were legitimately excited.
Yeah,
to see
they lost their stuff.
Yeah, you got a former winner in Sophie, Fishback. He's a pretty big part of the scene now.
I hear he does a podcast.
And you got Jason, who could help them actually compete in challenges and stuff. So
yeah. And Sophie, actually, too. Sophie's pretty, she did pretty well in challenges.
Yeah, I mean, she'd be yelling at Steven to drop a stack and all of that, but it would be alright.
She learned her lesson.
Sophie's claim to fame is that she beat Ozzy.
Yep.
And that was enough for me.
I gotta say, I think we kind of dropped the ball with the beauty tribe.
I am inclined to agree.
Yeah, because you guys ruined it by taking away my Courtney.
So we got Ian, Mike, Jay, Aaron, Christina, and Colleen.
Yeah. It is not the most beautiful tribe, but...
Neither is the one this season, so...
I felt so... Yeah. I felt bad taking the most obvious picks on my list, and then also, like I said, there were some that were just... Kim, I'll save for a future season. Amanda, fine, she's been back enough. Danny Boatwright, she was a winner before. Pass over her, whatever. But
you know how this works? Is the hypothetical world where Colleen Haskell comes back. If you get Colleen Haskell on this tribe, that's the only person you have to put in the promos of the commercials, right?
Yeah.
So absolutely.
That's like enough star power. She's kind of, the white whale, as it were.
And Erin Lobdale, I legitimately want to see back.
Likewise. That's why I picked her.
Well, that's why I was going to pick her.
That's a good choice by you.
Like, Christina Cha has been involved in different podcasts and all of that, and video series since then, so, I don't think they got everything they wanted out of her.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad, actually.
And, again, we all know Jay is a sexy, sexy guy.
He is so pretty.
That's why the poster is on my wall.
Alright, so that's our R18. Let us know what you think of them and how well we did and who we missed. And Emrat, we already said Savage, so you don't have to tell us that we forgot Savage. pick somebody else. You can contact us through Twitter at Purple Rock Pod. You can leave us a voicemail with who you think you should have been there and who maybe you shouldn't have been there at Purple Rock Podcast on Skype. And what else can they do?
They can send us angry emails, purplerockpodcast@gmail.com.
Provided Gmail is actually in operation at the time.
Indeed. Topical reference, Andy. Good job.
Boom!
All right. And, or you could just, send maybe a plane with some skywriting that says, I hate you, Purple Rock. Might confuse the people in your town. How else could they contact us?
You should have let Brad on the pretty tribe.
Oh, you can tumble things at us. You could, send us angry gifs of, people that aren't pretty and say, hey, this is what your tribe looks like, because that would really hurt our feelings.
And most importantly, you can leave comments on our Home Away from Home, the AV Club, TV Club section on Survivor. While you're there, why not join our little Survivor pool? John, tell them about that.
Yeah, we have a Pick 4 league going right now. So if you would like to participate, it costs absolutely nothing because you win absolutely nothing. But you can pick 4 players basically from this season. As long as no one else has chosen those 4 players, I'll keep track of scores. The scoring metric is up there for you guys so you can see how the players will be scored. And I'll keep track of the stats each week. I'll post the scores so you guys can see them. And it's a fun time. I recommend it.
One last thing before we go. So we have our little hypothetical cast here. Who's winning in this hypothetical season?
It's not going to be someone from Brains. I think that tribe eats each other. I think it's going to be someone overwhelmingly charming. So I'm thinking maybe like a...
Oh, wait, can I replace my beautiful man? Please?
You cannot replace your beautiful man.
No matter how much we wanted to.
He's from Token Team. I know that's your favorite season.
They've already had Coach on 3 times. We've already seen
Listen, Coach is not going to be in this season. I don't care how much you lobby for him.
It's not Coach.
Is it Brendan?
Yes.
Yeah, he was on my short list.
He's very handsome. I forgot about him.
No, he's not in.
Okay.
Overruled. Okay, so I think winner of this season is either Big Tom or Aaron.
I was thinking Aaron too, but I don't know if that's just wishful thinking.
I was thinking Aaron as well. That I don't see a reason why Sophie couldn't replicate her success, other than your thought that the Brains tribe wouldn't get along. But I think these brainy types would know that a key to success is getting along, and that they wouldn't be able to hook up with other people, like in a swap or anything like that. I don't know if they'd be able to glom on to people from the Beauty tribe or Brawn's tribe because they would be threatening. So I think they'd stick together for a while. So I think Sophie. But here's the thing, and what I really want is I'd want this to be the season that Suri wins.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I'd love to see Suri win a season, but I think Aaron should take that as a sign of encouragement that she needs to come back on this show, and she would do very well since all of us at least considered her for either first or second place.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming back on the show. Only 3-time guest of the Purple Rock Survivor podcast.
Well, I was lucky to be born a girl who lives in America, because otherwise you probably would have brought back Michelle.
But Ms. Wooza, she's ready, so you got to keep your game up.
Oh, man.
And we are always looking for more guests that are much more interesting than little Emma. Again, like we said,
I'm a delight.
We were scraping the bottom of the barrel here, so if you would be a more interesting guest...
How dare you?
And clearly we treat them so nicely.
Leave us a voicemail as a quick test.
We're looking forward to the season, even though the cast isn't as awesome as the one we just made up. We will talk to you all later when we pick based on poorly written write-ups and highly edited videos.
Yeah, we'll have a good preview podcast for that season for you shortly. Talk to you guys then. And song.